Hey everybody, welcome to this World of Warships review of the American destroyer Hull. That's a new Tier 10 U.S. destroyer. It's kind of a cousin to the USS Sherman. This is going to be available for Research Bureau points coming up very, very soon. It is a ship which begs the question, what happens when a Sherman and a Des Moines love each other very, very much? We're going to start out quickly in the training room here, just to give you a sense of what this ship is capable of, and then we'll take it out, show you some random battle games, and walk you through the standard Yeah, it does that. This is the standard ship build, upgrades, captain skills, armor, specifications, how to get it, and final thoughts. That's at 8.3 kilometers. That's the Nakamov. The AP kind of slaps. These are Des Moines guns, and it gets improved pen. Apparently I cannot Citadel the US. Took me a while to find it on the Incheon. There we go. What did we have over there? We had bullets. We had a Nakamov. We got an Audacious here. Let's see what we can do to it. Yeah. AP is pretty slappy. Two turrets in the back. One in the front. Pretty good turret traverse. Oh no, oh no, there's a submarine on my bow. What should I do? Oh, there's a speed boost, and as you can see, there's also a better than average heal. Oh dear. Oh dear. Move some. Des Moines guns, friends. Des Moines guns on a sub. Yeah, that makes sense. Decent alpha, not great on the HE, 2800, 899 meters per second. So as near as makes no difference to 900 meters per second. And it was the fire chance as built here is 14%. This is as built. I do have a captain on here that's built and the ship upgrades are in. Let's try the AP again, this time on the Novo. Not exactly straight broadside. I don't know the armor scheme on that ship. Probably too far off the axis. How about Goliath? There we go. Now we're not getting any actual pins. Look at how much we have to heal back. Let's go to 8. Oh, the torpedoes are very much like Sherman. Very, very, very much like Sherman. So incredibly difficult to aim. Long range, though, decent damage. .5 kilometer, 17,900 alpha. Try the HE again for some fire chance on the United States. That's a Tier 11 CV. Look at the dispersion. Not exactly going where we're aiming with every shell. Tractor submarine out there at 5.7 kilometers. Three salvos, 4 salvos, 5 salvos, 6 salvos, 7 salvos, 8 salvos, 9 salvos, 10 salvos, 11 salvos, 12 salvos, 13, did I at least count? 13 salvos to kill a submarine. How insane is that? How insane is that? From this beast with 3 Des Moines guns. And yet it does. Let's see how many salvos. This is San Martin is perfectly healthy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That fell short. 8, 9, 10, 11. I think it was one less, and one of those salvos went straight into the water. So it took less to sink a cruiser than a submarine. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. De novo. Wow, this thing is potentially a beast. It's not gonna, I don't think it'll Citadel the JV. Pardon me, the Patrie. I don't know if you can with these guns. Let's just take note. I've now healed back all of that damage. Yeah, I'm probably aiming wrong. Let me know where I should have been aiming in the chat with the Moines guns, but I'm not getting anywhere. Let's try the CV one more time. There we go. I found its C spot. Wow. It is such a dark art, such a mystery. All right. We are going to go play some games. See what this thing will do out on the ocean. See whether the defensive AA is worth a darn. I'm guessing not so much. Torpedoes reload pretty quickly. 73 seconds as built. Take note of this Citadel count. It really is a bit of a beast. Okay, try this again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you know what? Screw it. Screw it. Here's what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do. All the guns are aiming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, 16 salvos. Not a protected class at all. Let's go play some World of Warships in the Tier 10 Research Bureau American Destroyer Hull and see what we come up with, shall we? First game in the Hull. No CV. Are there? Yeah, there are Dutch ships with airstrikes, but no pure hybrids, at least on the enemy team. We'll go ahead and throw some torpedoes out here just because we can. Be surprised how many you can hit on the Sherman when you do this. They're very long range. This thing is pretty sluggish. Hopefully this guy's going to radar in the front deck. Yep. We don't get smokes. If I'd broken his engine a moment earlier, had that shot landed, I probably would have got him with the torpedo. I go dark. Then I go dark. Let's see. Let's throw out some more torps. Probably should have shot AP at him. Got a Schlieffen pushing in now. Wish I had smoke. Come on, boat, turn. Just getting these ricochets. Would love to see that destroyer again. Looks like everybody on the other flank got wiped out. Wow, the gun accuracy really leaves a lot to be desired. It's quite a team. Quite a team we had. So there's game one. Two in the USS Hull, the brand new Research Bureau, American or U.S. destroyer. It's a Sherman with 3 Des Moines guns, kind of a mythical ship, never existed. They did test out a Sherman hull with one of these gun turrets on the bow only. Never put it into production, as far as I understand it. So no airplanes in this one to speak of, just the hybrid ships, the Dutch ships. We do have 2 submarines, and they're in division because Wargaming makes really interesting choices. I have no ASW tools other than the roll off the back depth charges. So I don't have hydro, I don't have subsurveillance, I don't have smoke. It was built, by the way, I do have, 14.3 kilometers range. I could have built it even longer range. And with the velocity of these guns, 899 meters per second, that's a choice that somebody might want to make. I didn't choose to make it that way. I do have my Sherman built for super long range, and I can usually fire hose hit things with that. This one, I'm finding that the shots are just a bit too rando. Not a big fan of the dispersion. I got shots on anyone. I do have prop mod on, still very sluggish accelerating. Also, not the tightest rotor turning in the world. Oh, hello. Concealment as built is 6.5 kilometers. Wow, that was fast. There's nothing poking around. Oh, there it is. One pen with the HE. See if I can spot this Burgone. This is more of a mini cruiser than it is a destroyer. Oh, there it is. Two non-pens, 980. Seeing a lot of toxic chat tonight in this game. I was trying to use the islands there to position so I could interdict and farm things. Oh my god, this king just is completely melting. Wow. I think your reload boosted me. That's gonna hurt. gonna hurt. He had some pretty massive potatoes on this one, but it is what it is. Random matchmaking. I've got a submarine out on the plank here. Probably two of them, actually. Probably the 4501, which goes 1 billion miles an hour. With my speed boost. Yep. Those look like possible submarine torpedoes. Oh, Cassard. More guns. Oh, he's got the sub here with him. Why is my guns not firing? My guns are not firing. Oh, but actually the destroyer got me. Well, that was fun. Said nobody ever. Pretty terrible team. 1.17 potential damage in the first 9 minutes of the game. Some spotting damage and only 37,000 damage done. Um, this is what happens when wargaming has a matchmaker that puts all the players that know how to play on one side and not the other, or not evenly distributed. And if you think there's something wrong with that, I would suggest politely you tell them that you think there's something wrong with that. They seem to think it's okay, but it really does make for a very unpleasant gaming experience when you don't have any players on your team who know how to play the game at especially at higher tiers. All right, let's try a third game. Game 3 attempt here. Let's see what we got. Any airplanes? Well, we've got Dutch ships, got submarines, but no CVs and no hybrid ships. I count myself lucky. There's going to be a radar there. I think that may be the only one. There's a whole lot of destroyers. I'm going to sort of toss out at the start here some zoning torpedoes. So I'm slowing down so I can easily send both sets. And look at what else needs to be done. These torpedo angles are so terrible, but occasionally you'll hit things. They're very long range. 16.5. This ship would be very good with a buddy with a smoke screen. Brisbane, you may have made a big mistake here. Well, that was kind of my kill. I did 29,000 to him to start with. But as long as he's dead, off the map. 5 citadels to that cruiser. That's pretty good. Pretty spicy. Smoke is that? Oh, the Columbos. Oh, 2 torpedoes, 2 of them into the Shikishima, and he's still flooding. It's going to be a spicy game, perhaps, my friends. Kind of wish I could get some shots in on the Shikishima. He's really not in range. Our Balau over there is in big trouble. Their Holland's dead. That's good. Not sure what's in the smoke or what was in the smoke, but let's toss out some torps. Yeah, Colombo took care of our Kleber, who was way overcommitted. I don't know where this gearing is at, unfortunately. Where is the gearing? Really wish I had a smoke. Aha. Awkward little conversation with the Kurfürst now. I don't know if I'll get much damage done. All right, I got a fire on him. See the heel here in action. Possibly. By the way, that acceleration was with the speed boost running. Pretty sad. And also, this is with maximum rudder deflection. Very, very, very clumsy ship. Really would benefit from having a smoking div mate. Let's try some Des Moines AP into the superstructure. Don't have much of a heel there. We'll use it. Wow, their PVO is way, way, way in the back. Speed where this Ohio has gone to, I don't think it's the one in the cap. I think it's the Colombo in the cap. Yep, there we go. Full rudder deflection here. So slow. Switch to AP. This is Des Moines AP on the broadside here. All right, well, for a third game, I guess that'll do. Not the most impressive damage game, but not horrible. 81,000 in damage, 66 target hits. 16 were non-pen though. One was a ricochet, 42 pens, and 7 overpens. 2 torpedo hits, a flood, 5 citadels on that Brisbane. Poor Brisbane. 3 defenses, 1 kill. I think the Brisbane kill belonged to me, but I'll take it. Middle of the pack returns here. Yeah, not the worst game in the world. Not completely unbalanced matchmaking either. Did some reasonable damage to these ships. Really wanted to get that fire. I probably shouldn't have gone around on the map there, around that island. I should have stayed back there to get a fire on the Shikoshima. Might have broken 100,000 had I done so. Wish I had sunk the gearing as well, but did not get it done. With the detect, you're not going to get a ton of spotting damage. A lot of potential damage, 653,000. Wow, actually, I did get a ton of spotting damage, 104,000. That's crazy. Didn't realize that. 14,000 in fire damage, too. Flooding, not so much. He DCP'd that pretty quickly. All right, let's walk through some of the other topics on our review of the Tier 10 U.S. Research Bureau destroyer, the USS Hull. Okay, continuing on to the next section of our USS Hull review, let's talk about the armor on the ship. And as is typical for a destroyer, there really isn't much to speak of. We've got 19 millimeter plating here and here. Looks like there is some missing armor. Wow, in the armor model, is there just no armor there at all? That's kind of interesting. Yeah, it looks like the armor viewer is kind of screwed up. Maybe it's maybe it's me. But this looks weird. That looked weird coming off to the side here and having it just disappear. Anyway, 1919. So you're going to get overpinned by a lot of stuff. You got nothing. There's just 13 millimeter superstructure. You got nothing to protect you. So, yeah, no armor to speak of. While we're here, let's now go over the USS Hull's features and other specifications. As built, again, everything you're hearing about these specs is as built. So your mileage may vary if you build your ship a different way and have different flags on it. The hit points are 29,850. Let's well, actually, let's just go through it here. You've got 3x1, so 3 turrets, 1 gun, 203 millimeter guns. These are essentially Des Moines guns. They reload 3.4 seconds. They turn around in 180 degrees in 5.2 seconds. They claimed maximum dispersion is 113 meters out at 14.3 kilometers. I don't know, man. I really found the guns to be very inaccurate compared to Sherman. Maximum damage of the HE is 2,800 alpha and 16% fire chance as built with 34 millimeters of pen and an initial velocity of nearly 900 meters per second. That is nice, but the shells kind of go in every direction, as you saw during the gameplay. The AP is really the shining feature of this ship. 4,900 alpha, again, same muzzle velocity of 899 meters per second. You do get Sherman torpedoes, hard to aim, but they do hit. You get 2 per side. So basically 4 individual tubes that go out to 16.5 kilometers. They reload pretty quickly every 73 seconds. Alpha is good at 17,900. Speed is very modest at 66 knots, and they're detected from 1.4 kilometers, which is okay. It's not great. You have depth charges that roll off the back. No hydro, though, and no sub surveillance to help you find submarines, and you're really not maneuverable enough to go chasing a submarine. If you run one over, yeah, you'll probably sink it, but you'll do damage to yourself. I got one chance really, and it's in a game I don't think I'm gonna end up putting in the video. So if it's in there, maybe it'll be a little highlight. Um, I got really limited opportunities to test the AA. There was one opportunity against a Tier 10 ship, a Midway, and it shot down 8 of the airplanes. I was not the target of the attack, but that was with defensive AA going at the start of an arms race game. Um, I think looking at these numbers here, and considering the state of AA in the game right now, don't depend on the AA, and I really wouldn't build that much into it. Maneuverability is a real shortcoming. Maximum speed before speed boost as built is 35.6 knots. Turning circle radius is 680 meters. It feels like it's a bit of a slug with a rudder shift time at 5.3 seconds. Concealment, and this is a double conceal build, is 6.4 kilometers. Let's talk about the ship upgrades and the captain, at least as I built it. Real fast here, the upgrades I used, kind of typical destroyer gunboaty build. Main armaments mod 1, engine room protection, aiming systems mod 1 to improve whatever accuracy you've got. Boy, I cannot see not taking this and going for any of these other things. You don't need turret traverse. That's really worthless. And the torpedo tubes, yeah, worthless there as well. Really the only choice, it's the recommended choice. Prop mod, still found it sluggish. You could conceivably take this to make you more tanky, but this is also an option. Steering gears, don't know that it would make much of a difference. You're probably more likely to dodge a torpedo if it's coming at you with a prop mod, but your mileage may vary. Of course, concealment. And then I thought about this long and hard. I went with range here and not on the captain. The reload is already pretty good. I'm not worried about the main battery traverse speed impact, but I thought I'd take it here and then have the range skills available to me when I built the captain. Instead of putting the points into range, I could put them into other things on the captain. This is mostly an AA thing here, and again, I wouldn't build the ship for AA. I took these flags as I was doing these test games. Your mileage may vary. You're going to be shot at. You got no smoke. You've got some great heels, but you're big and you're hard to maneuver, so you're going to get shot at a lot. I wanted to deal with the fires. I wanted to add to my HP. But this is a ship I think best played with a div mate who will smoke you up. On to the captain's build. These are the choices I made. They issued me this captain. I would probably put Halsey on here, or my Sherman captain if I have the ship. So this is standard gunboat destroyer stuff down this first column on the far right. Preventative maintenance. Last stand, of course, you want to be able to keep maneuvering. Survivability expert, that adds to your HP per tier. I thought very hard about taking this. I didn't get through all my heals in the testing I did, or my speed boosts, or my AAs actually. So you could probably do without this, possibly put this somewhere else. Adrenaline Rush AR, like arms race. Adrenaline Rush, pretty standard choice here. I'd probably move this to here. Go ahead and add the AA damage and basically get some additional buff to my reload instantaneously. This is the skill that could give you additional range. And I do use these all together on some, and actually use them instead of Adrenaline Rush. But here, for this testing at least, I went this way. Radio location I like to use. People think it's a crutch in some cases. I don't. Let me know what you think in the comments. It can tell you where you might be getting torqued from. It can tell you where somebody is chasing you or someone's coming around an island. I think it's pretty useful to have. I had one extra point just lying around. Wasn't really going to put it here because you can't depend on the torps enough. This is ridiculous because your reload is already so fast. I don't know why they recommend it. Again, we're reloading these guns in 3.4 seconds. So the maximum time of switching shells, I think it says it on here, doesn't it? Minimum shell switching time is 3.4 seconds. Why would you need to put this on here? Remember, this is though an AP focused ship. I don't see any reason to use that skill. So this lets you swing the guns around a little bit faster. Conceivably, you could put it here. Conceivably, you could put it here. Conceivably, you could even put it here because you're being shot at a lot. But this is where I threw it for the purposes of the test. So let's talk about how to get the hull. So how would you get your hands on USS Hull if you wanted one? Well, when it goes into the armory, you'd go over here to the armory, assuming it loads for you. You go to this icon for Research Bureau ships, click on ships, and it'll be sitting right here with a price tag of 60,000 Research Bureau points. So that puts it at the same price as the Brennus and the Cilia. It is the highest priced destroyer. Druid is 56,000 Research Bureau points. Yolo Emilio, or Paleo Emilio, is 43,000. I have the Vampire 2. She's 55,000. So at 60,000, she's more expensive than Colbert, a little less expensive than Ohio, the most expensive destroyer by a bit, and up there at the same price as a Tier 10 cruiser or the Cilia, which is a battleship. So that's pretty darn expensive for a ship with such limited utility. But that's how you'll go about getting your hands on her steering wheel or her helm. Is Hull worth the cost? Well, I don't know. It depends on how you like to play, and if you like to play, for example, Des Moines and or the Sherman. If you like driving the Sherman around and bullying ships and are okay, very comfortable with her lack of maneuverability, you're going to be very comfortable driving this ship around. And when you can hit what you're aiming at, because these guns are not very consistent, you will do a ton of damage. The AP will slap the bejesus out of cruisers in particular. Again, Des Moines guns. 60,000 is a lot of Research Bureau points, but I don't think that it's too outrageous. It's expensive, but it's not too outrageous in this case. I'm not in love with most of the Research Bureau ships. I think that their price is above their capabilities. Like I expected Research Bureau ships to be magical bunny rabbits, basically, and I don't think that any of them really are. They're not so much better than steel ships and frankly some coal ships. But if you've got the resources, if you've been playing the game and you've got resources and you like gunboats, I won't warn you off getting the Hull. Find yourself a good div mate who will smoke you up, and you can absolutely have a great time. Don't sit in that smoke and eat torpedoes. You have no hydro, you've got no radar, you've got no sub surveillance, and you've got roll-off ASW. You're basically a mini cruiser with no sensors, but some pretty good guns. And if you like that, I wish you all the happiness in the world playing your USS Hull in World of Warships. If I've earned your subscription to the YouTube channel, I would appreciate if you would click that button and drop me a subscription. I'm trying very hard to grow this channel. I would appreciate a like as well if you're feeling it. And perhaps you'd leave a comment about your thoughts on the ship, whether the USS Hull is worth the cost in Research Bureau points, how you would compare it against, for example, the Sherman, which is available for coal. Yeah, that would really help me out, in fact. So please let me know. if you're feeling it in the comments below. And if you did enjoy this, come see me on Twitch when I stream 3 nights a week on Twitch. I'm a community contributor for World of Warships. My name is Aero. The links are going to be in the description and they're going to be on screen right now. And if you did get some value out of this review, maybe you would consider watching the next video here on screen. Next, it's another ship review on World of Warships. Thanks very much, and I hope that you and yours fare well. Bye-bye.